Hey Bourbon fans, I'm Tim the Suburban Dad. Today we're going to dive in a little deeper to the Buffalo Trace line. We're going to do a blind tasting of the some of the three most basic bottles of their line. Their flagship Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, and Weller Special Reserve. So let's get to it. Historically, before going into this tasting, I feel most drawn to Eagle Rare as my favorite, with Buffalo Trace being a very close second and Weller being a very far away third. These are all 90 proof, so that's a nice constant that we have going for us. I will say Buffalo Trace has such a nice creamy, caramely note to it. Eagle Rare is more of a fruity tone to it, somewhat grape-ish. And then Weller Special Reserve, man, let's just say if Weller Special Reserve is my favorite of the blind tasting, I will have to go and meditate for a while to figure that one out. Let's dive in, shall we? Pour number one. So these are all very similar coloration. That's really not a standout to me. You know, light honey colored, goldish, not real rich. It's only 90 proof, so what do you expect? By the way, I couldn't help but wear my Eagle Rare polo today, courtesy of Matt. Thank you, Matt. And I've been looking for an opportunity to wear it, and today is probably the best. So this one on the nose. Not a real strong nose, some ethanol notes, a little bit of fruit in there. Yeah, I would say fruit and a little tiny hint of spice. Okay, a little bit of oakiness, graininess. All right, let's taste it. Okay. Same thing that I smelled on the palate pretty much carries over on the nose. Pretty much carries over to the palate. A little bit of fruit up front, some spice, a little bit of baked good type flavor. Okay, not bad, not bad. Cleanse my palate a little bit. Not bad. That one is not bad. Now let's see pour number two. Same coloration really, golden, dark gold, light honey. This one on the nose, very shy nose, not getting much on this one. Just a little hint of ethanol notes, not a whole lot. Maybe a tiny hint of fruit, like bourbon that was walked by the produce aisle at the grocery store. Okay, so this one has more of a rich mouthfeel compared to number one. More of a rich mouthfeel, but less ideal flavor. So that's interesting. I like the feel of it more than I like the taste of it. There's some fruit notes trying to come through, but not quite making it. Some grain to it. All right. That's an interesting trade-off. I like the flavor of one better, but I like the mouthfeel of two better. One had a better nose, two had almost no nose at all. Pour number three. Same. Very similar, if not the same, coloration. Dark gold, light honey-ish. Okay, so on the nose, this one is the brightest, most inviting. Bright, fruity tones to it. Some ethanol, like it's borderline ethanol-y. Wow. All right, so this is interesting. This one has the most spice in a pleasant way. Some vanilla and caramel notes in there. It's got a pretty good mouthfeel to it. So that part's pretty decent. Wow. All right. So what is my favorite pour of these three? Well, I'm gonna go through, I saved a little bit so I can go through and start again. Trying to cleanse my palate a little bit as much as possible. All right, so back to pour number one. Didn't have a great nose. Fruity pastry maybe. A little bit. Okay. This one definitely has the thinnest mouthfeel on the palate. Okay. I don't know that that one's my favorite. This one's better to me, mostly because of the mouthfeel. This one, number three, was the most different from these other two. So that's what these first two are really hard to differentiate between. This one has more of a mouthfeel. This one fairly bland overall. So let's see, one more. I feel like I'm making the same description over and over with these. A little bit of fruit, a little vanilla in there, some pastry type notes. So far, one is the least awesome. It's between number two and number three. Again, better nose on this one. Good mouthfeel, more spice, more depth of flavor. I gotta say, number three is gonna be my favorite here of this blind tasting. Now, I'm gonna hazard a guess as to which one is which. I think number one is Weller. I think number two is Eagle. And I think number three is Buffalo Trace. Let's find out. All right, the results are in. Well, I'm very relieved to say that number one, my least favorite, was in fact Weller. So at least I'm consistent there. Number two, pour number two was Buffalo Trace. I was surprised by this. Number three was Eagle Rare. So I do in fact like Eagle Rare the best and Weller the least. Buffalo Trace is a close second. There you go, folks. For all of you who have watched my Weller Special Reserve video, how much I hated on it, and other videos since then, at least I'm consistent. My taste buds know what they like and what they don't like. So even blind, I don't like Weller Special Reserve. Eagle Rare is the winner here today. Now you can see this is a store pick, single barrel store pick. So it's going to be a little different than the run-of-the-mill Eagle Rare, but for our purposes here, that is still the winner. So, interesting stuff. I tell you what, you can't go wrong with the blind tasting. It really can open your eyes. Irony. So be sure to try it sometime if you've not. It's really interesting. So be sure to subscribe, like the channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time for more bourbon goodness. Till then, cheers.